Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is going to be taken from a double up game that Cymbal and I played together. For whatever reason, the loading screen did not save, so we're just jumping right into the game. And the theme of this game is going to be working together to try and create another 3-star unit, another 3-star 4-cost unit that we're going to try to work together to build. So as usual, in double up mode, the two of us are going to be playing together. We both share the common life bar. You have the chance to go and reinforce your partner's team if you can win your round quickly enough. And of course, the other team has the same ability to do the same thing with their own teammates. So we generally feel that it's better to try and be strong in this mode, to be win streaking early, and we'll be looking to try and do that in this game. All right, so as far as things go, I have gotten an Ezreal with a sword off the starting carousel. I think that's a very good start because Ezreal is a pretty good item holder for anything AD related. And if you can put scrap trade in, he'll get some kind of sword item, which is quite good on him. This is being played on the most recent patch. So there was a patch that came out on a Thursday of this past week, and I think we were doing this game on Saturday. So it was shortly after this patch had come out. And a number of changes in this patch. The couple of the most significant ones. One of the biggest changes was the oh, and by the way, we have a chance to pick some different things here. So small. I actually played Yordles in a Cymbal and I did 3 games. I actually played Yordles in one of the previous games. We got a second place in that game. I thought about it, but I didn't really have very many Yordles here. So I was like, all right, I won't go for the Yordles. I just go for Stand United because I wasn't sure where the spotlight would be located. I wasn't sure how useful Socialite would be. One of the things that we also found out is one of the websites that tracks TFT information actually put out some information specifically about which augments perform really well and which augments don't perform very well. Like they were able to pull data from all the different augments. And it turns out that the socialite ones are some of the worst performing augments, just based on the data. The ones that give you extra rank of socialite, they just are apparently not very good, or at least grade out pretty poorly. So that also, I think, maybe was a factor in the decision. So I just take Stand United, which is going to be, not amazing after being nerfed in the previous patch before this one, but it's always going to have some value, and it scales well throughout the game. So. All right, so what am I doing here? I don't have a ton of different things here. I have decent setup in terms of traits, but I have a bunch of 1-stars, so I'm not expecting to do especially well here in the early game. 1-star Poppy, 1-star Ziggs, 1-star Ezreal, 1-star TF. Now, if they were all 2-stars, this would actually be a pretty good early board, but I'm not expecting a ton this early on in the match. So I mentioned that there was a new patch. I wanted to get back to talking about that. Some of the most important changes, they changed the odds for 4-cost unit, or excuse me, for legendary units to drop at level 8. So previously, when you were level 8, the odds of getting the legendary units was 5%. That was changed to 4%. And again, that might not seem like much of a change, and I guess it really isn't that big of a change, but it does make it a little bit harder to hit the 5-cost units at level 8. So in this patch, we've seen people moving a little bit more towards like mid-game focused team comps, people re-rolling like Talon has been popular. Oh, by the way, the double up game we did right before this one, I had a Samira pop out of one of the initial minion rounds. I was like, oh, cool. I've got an early Samira. Let's go ahead and we'll just play Imperial because Imperial is fairly strong in this patch version. Well, as it turned out, I never saw another Samira until stage 4. And yeah, just no Imperial units popped up anywhere on stage 2 or on stage 3. Cymbal had to send me a Swain just so I could make Imperial. And then even though I re-rolled like 25 gold at level 6, I couldn't find Swain 2-star or Talon 2-star, much less 3-star versions of those units, and couldn't get any Samiras. So it was just a super low roll game and did not come together. But anyway, as I said, so people have moved a little bit more towards some of the mid-game units, have been a little bit more popular. So I've been seeing some of that, and look at that, managed to beat this person just before their teammate comes in, which is always a nice sign. Especially because that first round I kind of got destroyed. By the way, there's another Samira. I was like, oh, come on, another Samira? Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. And I'm definitely going to play the Leona over the TF because Bodyguard is more important for my setup than having Arcanist. But I'll hold the TF. Maybe he can be the next unit in at level 5. So yeah, that's kind of one of the big things. The change in the rolling odds. Also, Locket got buffed by doubling the duration of the Locket from 8 seconds to 15 seconds. So we've been seeing a lot more Locket stuff. And the other big change is they changed the Portable Forge augment, which was prismatic and was seen as being one of the weakest prismatic augments. That was changed to make it now a gold augment instead of prismatic. And they nerfed some of the items that come out of the portable forge, but not all of the items that came out of the portable forge. So it has gone from being one of the weakest prismatics to one of the strongest gold augments, which is not really a surprise. This round is fairly close, but unfortunately that Katarina killed my Ezreal right away, so I have no damage, even though I'm quite tanky. And then I'll go ahead and sell the TF to get to 10 gold. So overall, not a great start. Lost the first round, won the second round, lost the third round. We've actually taken a fair amount of damage for this early in the game, being on 88 HP. And not being on a streak is not exactly ideal here. So I will go ahead and pick up this glove. And the reason for that is I had a bow on the bench. I can use the bow and the glove to make a Last Whisper, and then I'll continue getting a scrap item out of the sword, which is what I want. Did think about a defensive item, but like the chain vest was on a 1 gold singed, I would prefer to take something that has a little bit higher gold value if possible. So I'm reasonably happy here. Wanted to get that bow in play, and now I actually have the chance to do that. So go ahead and sell that. Go ahead and level to level 5, and I'm going to get a drop over here. This was the so 2-5, you get the item that can appear in the shop. And I just said there was no item I particularly wanted, just give me gold. And so Cymbal passed that over. And at this point, I'm trying to decide what unit I want to play next. So I could play Malzahar, who would give me Arcanist. I can also look to play Tarek because he adds the Spotlight. And the Spotlight is in a good spot. It's back center. But I decided ultimately I'd rather play the Mauls here because I was concerned about Assassins. There are a couple different people playing Assassins. I didn't think I could keep Ezreal safe on the Spotlight. So since I wasn't convinced I could keep him safe, I decided I'd play Malzahar instead, pick up Arcanist. And Mauls is just a very useful unit to play in the early and mid game. He's going to end up doing quite a bit of damage, even at 1-star, even with no even with no items on him. He's still going to do pretty good damage. So this round's relatively close. You can see I'm trying to get through their front line. They're trying to get through mine, but it looks like Cymbal is going to win his round, and that makes it not a close round. So it is good to have friends coming into the rescue. And that'll allow me to win the round and get up to 20 gold. So here I have the chance to give something back to Cymbal, and I believe that he said he wanted the gold out of these 3. Again, when in doubt, take the... Oh, no, never mind. He took the bow. That's right. When in doubt, usually it's good to take the gold if you can. But if an item makes a key, if a component makes a key item, then it can be worth taking the item. Now look at my board right here. I have 2-star Poppy, and then I have pairs of literally every other unit. I have 2 Ezreals, 2 Ziggs, 2 Leonas, 2 Malses. This is pretty expensive. Note that I'm holding 2 3-cost units on my bench. That's a lot of money that's being held in these units. But I think I can get away with that because I took the gold drop on the previous round. If I had not taken the 8 gold, I don't think I could hold these many units. It would just be too expensive to do so. So I'm kind of in an interesting situation. If I hit any of these units that are paired, I'm going to be much stronger. Like if I hit 2-star Ez and 2-star Mauls, I'm actually going to be very strong for the mid game. But if I don't hit them, then I'm not gonna. Then I'm only like moderately strong. The good news is Cymbal seems to be pretty strong. He's gonna pop one over here in this game. And I should talk a little bit about what Cymbal's running as far as his board. I really wish that I could just pop over and show you. Maybe someday we'll have replays. I always say this anytime I cast a double up game. I just desperately wish that we had actual replays. There we go. I'm going to hit 2-star Ez. So that is a big hit because Ezreal at 2-star with Last Whisper and then plus a scrap item coming out of his sword every round, he's actually going to be quite strong. He's going to be able to carry pretty hard. So I found this in the past. If you can get 2-star Ez with a sword item coming out of scrap and then like a Last Whisper, he will carry not just through stage 2, he can actually carry quite well through stage 3, and then he falls off in stage 4. But he'll get you through stage 3 in pretty good shape. All right, so as far as what Cymbal is playing, Cymbal had said he thought he was going to go into Urgot long term, so I'm going to keep an eye out for any early Chemtech units that I might find. If I would look to find early Urgots, or if I find like an early Mundo, or alternately, if once the legendary units start appearing, Jinx or Tom Kench, or something like that, something along those lines. So that's what I'm trying to keep an eye out for. I am going to go ahead and level again here. Now this is maybe a little bit early to level to 6. It does cost 16 gold. It drops me below 30 gold. But there are 2 reasons for that. One is it puts another trait in play. So for Stand United value, I get another trait in play. And the other reason is that trait is Yordle. So I'm actually going to be making more money off of having the Yordle trait in play. It's going to be giving me more Yordle champs who I can then sell for additional gold. Or if I would hit like Lulu and Ziggs, like if a Ziggs pops out, then it increases my board strength. So that's why I thought it was worthwhile to do that. And it looks like this person that I'm up against is also already level 6. And I'm actually pretty happy to have the Lulu in there as well, because watch, Lulu is going to get off an ultimate and buy me a little bit more time. Lulu doesn't do a ton, but she's certainly not terrible to have in there. And so she not only makes my board stronger, she helps me economically as well. So this fight's close, but then Cymbal's going to come in, and he has an Ezreal who has a Guardian Angel and a Static Shiv, 2-star Ez. He kind of randomly naturaled his way into this Ezreal as I hit the 2-star Ziggs. Thank you, Yordle trait. So yeah, Cymbal kind of like naturaled his way into this 2-star Ezreal. And then even though he wasn't playing Scrap and he wasn't playing Innovators, he was just like, all right, Ezreal can hold items for the time being. He'll carry reasonably hard. Yeah, he has 3 Chemtech in. Kind of an interesting board. 2-star Graves, 2-star Lissandra, 2-star Ez, and then like this random this random Warwick and random Twitch in there for the Chemtech trait. So it's kind of a weird board, but Ezreal with the Guardian Angel and the Static Shiv is actually doing a lot of damage for this early in the game. So I'm pretty happy with my board. Cymbal seems to be winning faster than I am. Static Shiv's a very good early game item, and we're hoping that we can keep win streaking here through the mid game. Kind of we're off to a little bit of a rough start, but now we're actually pretty strong. So I am up against this person, I Painless, and I would really like to beat that. Does look like I'm going to beat that person. Their teammate comes in, Panda Party, and oh, there's the double Static Shiv Ezreal. Looks like Cymbal made another Static Shiv. So it's going to be four teams on the board all at once, and we are going to be able to interrupt. I guess that person wasn't on a win streak, but we're going to be able to interrupt them. Okay, now I have some interesting choices. I have Clear Mind, which is good for a first augment. I don't think it's that good as a second augment. I could get Bodyguard Crest and try to play 4 bodyguards. I decide I'll go with Junkyard. Now, Junkyard is always a little bit risky because it doesn't make you strong right away. It is a delayed benefit. Every 3 rounds that you have the scrap trait in play, you will get an additional item component. I think it's still generally worth taking for the second augments. I definitely don't think it's worth taking for the third augment. Obviously, it's better as the first augment because it would have already created 2 items for me. But, this is a scaling thing. We feel like we're in pretty good shape. We're both on a win streak. We both have 88 health. Cymbal is going to look to try to pull a trait from the Tome of Traits. And he was hoping, I think, for Chemtech or Bruiser. I guess he can't get Bruiser because he doesn't have the trait in. Well, I guess he could. So the way that it works is the Tome of Traits basically picks out 2 traits that are on your board, and then it picks 2 other things that are completely random. So he ended up taking Scholar, which was a good choice. Scholar is going to allow him to get Scholar trait in play while just playing Lissandra, so he does not need to add another Scholar onto the board after that. I am back to the Katarina player again. I get some good fight RNG in that Ziggs tosses a bomb and it lands right on Katarina's head. And that should be enough to at least take this fight close. And ooh, looks like we've got this one. So yeah, that was the assassin person that had beaten me earlier. And in fact, Panda Party was on a win streak. So we're kind of in competition with this other team, Panda Party, I Painless. They had been win streaking through the early game, but we were able to interrupt both of their win streaks. And that's really, really good for us as a team. Stop them from getting that extra econ while giving us the extra econ. And now I'm on a 5-match winning streak, and Cymbal's also on a 5-match winning streak. So that's really good news in terms of health. It is bad news in the sense that we are now last pick on the carousel. That Urgot with a bow would be absolutely perfect for Cymbal because, he's building into Chemtech, hoping to go into Urgot. And we're like, oh man, is this actually going to still be there by the time we pick? But no, it does actually get taken. So that's a little bit sad. I will go ahead and take one of the gloves. I'll just take it on the Heimer. Could have taken it off either one of them. And the reason for that is I've got the sword sitting here, so that means I can have Infinity Edge Last Whisper. Really good stuff. It does mean that I won't have a scrap item on Ezreal, but aha, I have that bow on my bench, so now I can make Infinity Edge Last Whisper and put the bow on Ez, so now he'll get another scrap item out of that, which should be pretty nice. Now here it is 16 to level. If I want to go to level 7, I decide that I do in fact want to do that, even though I don't really have a good unit to put in. I want to go ahead and do that just because I want to start getting the higher shop odds and because I'm on a win streak. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I just decided to toss in Graves. I mean, he makes Academy, so that's +2 AD and +2 AP for every single unit on my team. Not bad. And you're also seeing, by the way, some of these Orin items. I should highlight this. Remember how I talked about how Portable Forge moved from being a prismatic augment to a gold augment? So some of the items are extremely powerful, especially if you get them at the early game. This one is Zanya's Paradox, which gives a bunch of stats and also means that the unit becomes invulnerable for, I think, 2 or 3 seconds when they drop below like half health. So that's pretty good. And oh, look at this. This is one of the advantages of getting the higher tier shops is I have much better odds to get the 4 cost units. I see an Oriana pop out, and I am happy to go ahead and grab that Oriana. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Cymbal's board. He has kind of a weird setup right now, I'm not going to lie. I wish I could show you his board, and honestly, I would have preferred to cast the game from his point of view because I think Cymbal's decision making was a lot more interesting in this game, and he had kind of a more unique board in terms of what he was playing, but not possible. I can only show you glimpses of his board from when I looked at it during the game. But so far, neither one of us has had to use either of our sends, the like things where we send champions over to the other side. And we've just been win streaking here, the two of us. Look at the items that Ezreal has. He has Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, Rage Blade. Rage Blade is a really good item on him. It's one of his best items. I don't typically make it on Ez because he's usually just an item holder for someone else. Like he holds items for Urgot or Jin or Jace or something. And they generally don't use Rage Blade as well. Oh, look at this. Look at me coming in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and knock that person out of the game. So I think that Cymbal would have won that round anyway. Oh, and again, look at the shop that I get. I get a Janna and an Ori. This is just what I want. These are the units I'm going to be playing into long term. I am very, very happy to see these. So for example, if I want, I could drop the Lulu and I could play Janna here instead. That would put that would just give me another rank of Enchanter and it would drop Yordle. So that's probably not worth doing. But I will hold the unit for right now. And you see me grab the Lysandra in case I want to play Scholar later on. Also because Lysandra's a good holder of Morellos. I was thinking maybe I'll get a Morellos here. And oh, look at that. I actually do. I was wondering if I would get that. And I do actually hit that. And then here comes Jin. So I was like, all right, this is definitely going to be a Jin game. We hit 2-star Leona. This is looking pretty nice. So I was like, I think I'm going to try to switch up my team comp. I want to try to get some of these units in that I've been finding. So this is going to drop some traits. I'm going to be dropping the Yordle trait. And I just need to keep Scrap in, so I can do this. I can drop the Ziggs. That's going to lose Arcanist for the time being. But overall, I think that this is a little bit better. Oh, and then I can try and replace the Poppy, potentially. I think I can do better there. But I still have the Scrap trade in. I'm going to look to try and transfer these items that are on Ez over to Jin, but I still think that it's better to have them on Ezreal for the time being. 2-star Ez probably carries a little bit harder than 1-star Jin, at least for the moment. Now, unfortunately, in this fight, Ezreal's getting knocked up again and again by the other team. So I'm hoping I have enough left to finish this off. And I think I beat the team I'm up against right now, but I'm concerned about their partner potentially coming in. But in comes that Cogmall, but it looks like we've got it. And we're still in relatively good shape. I'll pick up the Taric as well. I do see a Scion, and I was like, all right, let's hold on to the Scion. I might be playing Scion frontline in this game. I would probably prefer to play something else. The one downside to Scion is I have fewer traits that I get to play because Scion eats up 2 slots on the team, which makes it harder to make more traits for Stand United. But I haven't been seeing any Brahms yet. So if I can't find Brahms, I'm probably going to play Scion for Scion frontline. It's not worth playing as a 1-star, but it is worth playing as a 2-star. All right, so Cymbal has now shifted his static shivs over from being on Ezreal to being on Cogmal. You saw Cog pop in at the end of that last fight. And the double static shivs are actually really interesting to have on the Cogmal because the mutant trait in this game is actually Predator. So that means that at mutant 3, it is an execute anytime a mutant does damage to get someone below 20% of their max HP. And at mutant 5, it actually is 40%. The Predator value doubles. So he just needs Cog to damage somebody below 40% of their max HP. And then it'll be a situation where he's getting that execute value. So more good shop RNG here. I've definitely been hitting stuff in the shops without rolling here. I see another Scion. I get a Yuumi, so I can put the Morello's on Yuumi, one of the better holders of it in this team comp. Also puts another trait in play. Another great thing about Cuddly, it just adds another trait. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 traits in play. So that's 12 AD and 12 AP, which doesn't sound like much, but remember, every single unit on the team gets that. So it does add up, having the benefit on that many units. And I've also put the blue buff on Malzahar for the time being, just because I had 2 tiers. I didn't know what else to do with that. Malz is a very good blue user. He's going to come out of the comp, and I probably don't have another great blue user after that. But, I had 2 tiers. I thought it was a useful way to make use of that item. The downside is I do lose this round, so my big win streak comes to a close. But I'm going to go level 8 after the carousel, and I should be able to get stronger. And both Cymbal and I have been able to preserve a lot of health and also keep our econs in good shape. So we're feeling pretty good about this situation overall. Now we are last pick. There is an Urgot on the carousel, which would be nice. I was considering just taking the Scion for Scion 2-star, but that goes. There's also a Jace on the carousel, which I would love to have. I could just, play Jace as my carry. I could stick the blue buff on him. So I'm not going to hit that. So that's maybe not as great. And out of the stuff that's left over, I think I want the Chain Vest because I need to start building Scion items. If Scion has no defensive items, he's not nearly as strong as if he has like a Bramble, a Warmogs, a Dragon's Claw, stuff like that. So I want to take at least one defensive item here. All right, so, and I'm going to get a Junkyard item there. I think that's the second Junkyard item I've gotten. So I hit Scion 2-star. As soon as I hit that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to play Scion. That's the unit I'm going to look to play here. I'm going to put in the Jin, and I'm going to put in the Blitzcrank. And now I've got most of what I want to run here as far as items go. So we'll put that on there. And I want to keep rolling. I do find a Kaisa, so I was like, ooh, hello, Kaisa. I find another Urgot, so that's pretty good. And then I hit the 2-star Urgot, so I was like, oh, okay, well, I've got that. I can send that over to Cymbal. I'm not fast enough to do that this round, and you can see I'm still kind of in the process of transitioning here. I haven't quite managed to get my board together yet. I have a lot of 1-star units in there. I have like a Jin pair. I think I have an Oriana pair. I think I have a Janna pair. So if I can just hit another copy of these units, I should be in good shape. But for right now, because I have all these 1-stars in, I'm not surprised that my board is not as strong as people who rolled down earlier. So we're getting there, but both of us ended up losing this round. The good news is I've got this Urgot, and I'll be able to send that over. And oh, look at this. It's a Prismatic Augment. Prismatic for the 3rd. I was like, I could play Bodyguard 4. That actually would give me the option to play Bodyguard Scion, which would not be bad, I think. But I go ahead and I opt to take another tier of Prismatic. Prismatic Stand United is very good. I mentioned that, they had like the ratings for all these different augments. And it actually grades out as one of the best choices. The Prismatic Stand United actually grades out very, very highly. So anyway, I was able to send a 2-star Urgot over to Cymbal, and now I'm going to send him the Kaisa as well because he's playing mutants and he wants to have the Kaisa available. So let's go ahead and roll, and then I see that there is in fact a Jace in my store, and I was like, oh, Jace in the store. Okay, well, let's stop fiddling around with Tarek. We'll just play Jace. Remember, we get another trait through him because he has Transformer trait. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 traits here. So I'm quite happy to have that. And then I managed to hit 2-star Ori. So I was like, okay, I'm one Jin away. If I can hit Jin 2-star, I think I am very set to go level 9 from here. But I just want to try to hit that one more unit. And of course, I'll also keep an eye out for stuff that I can send over to Cymbal. So I was telling Cymbal, keep an eye out for Jace, keep an eye out for Jin. If I can hit like one more of these units, I think I'm pretty set. And then I'm hoping that the Junkyard trait will give me a few more things for Scion. Oh, come on, Jace, you got me? Oh, Jace pauses he pauses in his attack animation to shoot. And I end up losing that round. So I have lost 3 rounds in a row, but then I get another Jace. I was like, what? All these Jaces. Now I just need a Nico to pop out or something like that. We're also keeping track of the number of... Oh, by the way, there's apparently a Chemtech emblem that Cymbal had. Cymbal was able to make Chemtech. I think he had a spatula and then he took a belt and was able to make it. So he just made Chemtech Kaisa over there. Again, I wish I could show you his board because his board is honestly a little bit more interesting than what I'm doing. We've also managed to get up to 5 Urgots overall. I sent him a 2-star version and then he has another 2. So I'm still keeping an eye out for more Urgots as well and looking to go from there. So I'll hold the Scion. I don't think I have room to get Tarek in here. Tarek certainly would not be bad because he'd give me a rank of Socialite, which is another trait. But I don't see how to get him in. I'm really rolling for Jin here. Wasn't able to find that. So I rolled down, and that was a pretty disappointing roll down. I really didn't hit much. But the good news is I can make Bramble Vest on Scion. And then I have the items here for a Quicksilver Sash, which is really good with Jin. Gives him more critical strike chance. Also, the attack speed converts into more damage via how Jin's ability works. Quicksilver Sash naturally gives 15% attack speed, but of course Jin can't get that, but he does get more damage from it. And then the acceleration gate from Jace also gives him more damage. Now that blue buff that was on Malzahar earlier is now on Jace, and it's actually really good on Jace. Blue is one of his better items. So this round is relatively close. I don't know that I would have won this, but up, then comes Cymbal. He's got Urgot with an Infinity Edge and double static shivs. Then he's got Guardian Angel plus Chemtech Kaisa coming in. And this is allowing him to play some extra mutant units. All right, here comes another Junkyard Augment. So I'll hold on to that glove. I don't know who I'm going to put it on, but we'll see. So over there, it's 5 mutant, 5 Chemtech. And I'm again, I wish I could just show you his board, but this is pre-recorded footage, so I can't really do that. But I do find another Urgot, and that's a big deal because, again, we've got, so there's a 6 Urgots over there right now on Cymbal's bench. So if I can send him, as he hits the 2-star Mundo, so if I can send him, like if he can find 2 more Urgots and then I send him 1, we might be able to get him to the 3-star Urgot. And then that would be kind of our win condition, is getting 3-star Urgot. For me, it's like 2-star Jhin, 2-star Jace, then go to 9 and then play Caitlyn if I can find her. So 1 cost unit, so she's not going to be that easy to find. But if I could then find Caitlyn at level 9, that would put Enforcer and Sniper in play. That would get me up to 9 traits, which would be a really big deal for my board. All right, I'm going to come in over here. Thank you, Guardian Angel on the Kaisa. So, oh, not quite enough. Thought that we had that one, but not quite enough. Need to look to find maybe another Kaisa to get up to Kaisa 2-star. So I'm just going to keep rolling here. And I do find a Tom Kench. I asked Cymbal if that was something he was interested in, but he said, nope, not playing Tom Kench in this game. Not playing Tom Kench in this one, because he's playing mutants instead. Typically, people play Chemtech with a lot of bruisers, but in this game, he's playing it with more mutants instead, and going into Kaisa, along with having he's playing Cho'Gath, and then he has Kaisa, and I believe and of course he has Mundo, because you always play that in Chemtech. And yeah, so a pretty good setup here. This is the person that I was hoping I could knock out. This person's also playing Jhin, so if we knock this person out, those Jhins will go back into the pool. Also, I realized right around now, I was like, wait a minute, Painless, wasn't this the team that was win streaking all through the early game? I thought that, I was like, wait a minute, I thought that this team was in really good shape, but somehow now they're on 1 HP. Well, whatever they did, it looks like they screwed up their mid game, because they are not in a strong position. And in fact, they look like they're going to be the first ones out of this game. So again, I'm not sure what they did, but it obviously did not come together for them in this one. All right, now on this particular carousel, I was hoping for a defensive item for Scion. I would not mind at all getting the Redemption. I think that would be really nice, but it's on a Tom Kench, so I'm not exactly shocked that that's not there. And if I had any Bruisers in play, that Bruiser emblem would be nice to make a trait, but I don't. So out of these, I'll go ahead and take the Last Whisper and just put it on Jace. That's not what I was looking for. I would have liked something that could have made another trait, but I don't really have anything that would do that. So we'll just make the best we can out of these items and go from there. All right, so then I find another Urgot, and I was like, oh, Cymbal. I've got 2 Urgots here. So he has an Urgot on his bench, and so he can send that over to me. And I think he's gonna, let's see. Oh wait, he needs to find another Urgot, but I believe he finds another Urgot here, like a 1-star Urgot, and then he's gonna send that to me, and then that'll make 2-star Urgot. Yeah, there it is. See, on his bench, he's gonna send it to me. That'll make 2-star Urgot for me, and then at the start of stage 6, when we get another send, I can send the 2-star Urgot back to him, and we'll be able to have a 3-star Urgot. So we basically have 3-star Urgot right now. We just need to use our sends to piece it together, and then we'll have it at the start of stage 6. This is a round against the assassin person. I'm hoping that I have enough to finish this off. I need Yuumi to keep CCing this other team. Can we kill the 3-star Swain? I am not going to be able to kill him. Oh, I was hoping that I'd be able to have Cymbal come in and help me out there. So no, not quite enough, but I hit 2-star Jace, so I'll certainly lock for that. There is the Urgot coming over. So Cymbal sends me the Urgot. Now I have a 2-star, and now I will send that back to him at the start of stage 6 when I get my last and final send. So the way that this has worked is I made 2-star Urgot. I sent it over to Cymbal. He then made, had 3, and then he found 3 himself. Then I found 2 more. He found 1 more. He sent me 1, and then I'm going to send him 3 back. So I hope that math isn't too confusing. But together, basically, I found 5 Urgots and he found 4, and we were able to combine them together into a 3-star Urgot. So this is the kind of teamwork you want to do, if at all possible. It's much easier to make these 3 stars, and honestly, you need to be in a position where you're making them. Like this person has a 3-star Heimer, and I'm going to kill that, and then I'm going to kill their reinforcing unit. And that's going to be that. And now I can jump over to help Cymbal, but it looks like that round is over. So one of the teams is out, and this is almost finished now. I'm going to get an Archangel Staff here, which is not really the item that I want. I would, again, prefer to have a tank item for Scion, but it is what it is. There is, so out of it, right now we're mostly just focusing on the team that has 29 HP. One of them is playing Innovators, the other one is playing 5 Imperial, and they have 3-star Samira with the Collector, although that is not as good at this stage of the game as it was earlier. Does fall off a little bit because the gold value is not as important as the game goes on. So we're mostly focused on them, but we think that with us having the 3-star Urgot, we think we're probably in a position where we'll be able to get this done. So I will go ahead and send this over to Cymbal. That's going to make 3-star Urgot. And there it is, popping up on the interface. And this Archangels I'll just put on Oriana, because why not? And now I'll look to go to level 9. Now Cymbal's going to send me something back. He found a Jhin. So I was like, yes, it is worthwhile to send 1-star Jhin, because that'll combine into 2-star Jhin for me. And now I can look to push 9, and then I'll be able to put another unit in. I could always just put Enforcer in, because that would be really good against some of the 3-stars on these other teams. So this is the Innovator board. As I said, I think I match up better with this board than with the Imperial board, who is the other person on this team that has 29 HP. Now that I have 2-star Jhin and 2-star Jace, look that I just shred right through this team. It's not even close. 2-star Jace does an awful lot of damage. And so we both win our rounds, and the team that was in last place on health just got knocked out of the lobby. So it is just down to our 2 teams right now. Remember, I have double stand united, so I get 7 AD and 7 AP for every trait. So I have 7 traits in. And, oh, this was the item drop round, by the way. I choose the Ionic Spark because I'm looking for tank items for Scion. But yeah, I get 7 AD and 7 AP for every trait. So I'm basically getting 49 AD and 49 AP, which is pretty good considering that every unit gets it. Yeah, so it's like 50 AD and 50 AP for everything. Now, I know I'm going to be up against the Imperial team comp. Like, I'm guaranteed to be up against that team because of how this works. So I'm going to try to position for that team comp. I'm going to try to slide over here. I'm going to try to box up my carries because of that, but I don't do a very good job. Honestly, this is a positioning fail. See, there's going to be the Talon and the Echo jumping on top of me. I really should have just completely boxed everything up and then moved Scion from being right in the front to being in front of all my carries, because really my carries will kill this team. I just need to protect them for like the 10 seconds they need to survive, but I don't manage to do that, unfortunately. So it is a lost round, and that's a little bit disappointing, but the good news is we still have plenty of rounds to go. We're pretty confident that we can beat this team. I'm still getting junkyard items. I'm going to go ahead and send the Zephyr over to Cymbal. A good item to pick here in the late game. So I still got more items dropping here. And in fact, Cymbal is going to be rolling for his Cho'Gath. He actually has 8 Cho'Gaths right now because he's been seeing a lot of Cho'Gaths. And he actually is going to hit the Cho'Gath. So he's got 9 Cho'Gaths. He now has 3-star Urgot. He has 3-star Cho. He has 2-star Kaisa. So his board is feeling really strong. And the other team just quits the game. I was like, what? Oh, come on. See, I really wanted to show a round featuring the 3-star Urgot. That was like the whole point. Is I was like, okay, well, I've been watching my rounds, but now that we've got the 3-star Urgot, I'm going to watch Cymbal's rounds instead, just so I can show off 3-star Urgot on the gameplay. But no, we don't get to see it because they quit the game. And in fact, this post-lobby screenshot doesn't even show the 3-star Cho, which is a little bit disappointing. But oh well, we'll take our first. I guess that's a wrap. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this game, Cymbal. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, have a great week. See you soon.